I chose the subject of what inspires me. And if you know anything about me at all, you know that I write about my faith. And so today I'd like to share 6 reasons why that inspires me. The first is the way that he uses us. Last summer I was on a business trip, and during a layover in an airport, I bought a small toy plane for my youngest son. And when we boarded the next plane, there was a small boy behind me that was not much older than my son. We sat taxied on the runway for 45 minutes. I thought, there is no way this little boy is going to make it the duration of this flight. And I had this prompting to give him the plane, but I was like, oh, the mama was like, he's going to need a distraction later. We're going to save that. So I waited, but much to my surprise, he never once got upset. But I still felt like I should give him the plane. So when we all stood up and were going to exit to leave the plane, I turned around and I asked him about his trip, and he very enthusiastically repeated every detail of his adventure, and I congratulated him on being on the plane, or for being such a good flyer, and I handed him the toy plane, and to my surprise, his father yells, "Did you see that, boy? That's a God thing!" And I didn't know what to say to that, but evidently the little boy had seen the same exact airplane in the airport and really wanted it, and his parents couldn't get it for him. But does Psalms not say that he knows the desires of our heart? And does not he use you and I to meet those needs? Number 2 is the timeliness of his word. I love how we can all hear the same message or read the same thing and each walk away with something different because of it. I love that no matter where I am in my life, whatever chapter I'm reading, even if I can't connect 2 dots right away and it doesn't make sense, I love that if I really challenge myself to get into it, I always get an answer that I need right now. I love, point 3 is, he meets us right where we are. For a long time, I really didn't get faith. I didn't know how to pray. I totally did not get the Bible. I did not understand people that were nutty all about the Bible and really passionate about it. And I didn't understand people who thought that they knew when God had given them an answer. But when I was willing to be a little nutty about it, he was able to give me a passion for it. 4, I love how close and personal he is. I know that he's personal because there are things that I never even think to pray about, but they're things that I hold on to sometimes, and my husband and my children and my friends, and sometimes strangers have hit so specifically on something with me, the only way I can explain it is that God sees me. I know he's close because 3 years ago when I started blogging, I was really just trying to put some pieces together and capture things that I thought might be him. And when I look back now, I have 3 years worth of a timeline where I can see that he was with me every single day. And it's almost like when I stopped writing it off and started writing it down, I was able to see that he really does dwell just as close to us as his word states. Number 5, there is so much more to our life than just the physical. My daughter is 6 now, but from the time that she was 3, she would just have this weird spirituality, and I could get into that another time, but she just said the strangest things and did the strangest things. And she talks about feeling like air and asks me all the time how she might not ever be real. And I'm struggling as her mama trying to wonder what on earth she is talking about. But as I've grown in my own spirituality, sometimes I feel, too, like I am so much more connected somewhere else. But does Peter not say that we are foreigners? And John not say that we're not from here? And Romans say, do not conform to this world. Last point is number 6. Oh, wait, there was another one in 5. Just about heaven. If you think about heaven, whatever you think that it might be like, whether it's closer to God or Jesus or miracles or any of that stuff, even if you've never been to church or if you don't read the Lord's Prayer, you've probably heard it when it says, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. He's totally asking you to do those things right now. My last point was number 6, that we're all made in his image. The things we get from our parents, he extends to us, and I will never forget when each of my children were born, and I was so full of adoration and humility and wonder, and I would just hold those all baby heads and sniff and sniff and sniff them and kiss them and cry because I could not believe that God had given me a whole human being. And yet, John says, he first loved us that much. And I just couldn't fathom that. Not only that, to give your own son that you love that much for some people that you love that much too. I'll be honest, I might have a lot of faith, but I still can't wrap my mind around that. I don't. But if I can get a glimpse of his love, Peter also says, I'm holy, so you be holy. And that is an incredible standard that I get to live up to. And all of those things inspire me to learn so much more about my faith and hopefully be all that he created.